Hey tennis fans, I'm Grace Carter and this is Tennis Now presented by Tennis Express. Tennis Express, delivering wow customer service. Times are tough all around the world. We're talking about the real world and the virtual world, and more than ever, we need some things to feel good about. We need role models, a little kindness, compassion, restraint, and perhaps most of all, sympathy. And we got a heaping dose of just that during the first week of the French Open, as players took the reins and showed tennis fans what it is to be a kind soul and an empathetic human. Talk about some epic moments of sportsmanship, especially from Juan Martín del Potro, who came to the aid of an injured Nicolas Almagro when the Spaniard was forced to retire with a knee injury. It's the kind of thing we've seen from del Potro over the years. He's an emotional guy. But we should never take for granted the type of message his gesture sends to the world. It's okay to show love to your opponent. In fact, it's pretty special. I mean, raise your hand if you didn't tear up when you watched this one. Not just because you were sad for Almagro, but because of how Del Po made you feel with the way that he handled this tough situation. And speaking of difficult situations, how about what American Steve Johnson was going through in Paris? Having just lost his dad a couple of weeks before, Johnson was soldiering on, playing for his father's honor, while his mom, his fiancée, and sister all traveled with him. Johnson's dad, Steve Johnson Sr., was a beloved father and a highly respected tennis coach in Southern California. The family had planned their European tennis watching trip long in advance, and Steve Sr. was supposed to join them at Wimbledon. So it was with a very heavy heart that Johnson valiantly came through his first 2 rounds in Paris. And it was with a heavy heart that he tried to explain his emotions.
Thanks, guys. Steve, coming off a unbelievable battle, obviously an emotional win on many levels. You want to try and articulate your reaction as best you can? Are we in a place to do that?
No, I just miss my dad, I wish he was following along. I know he is from upstairs, but it's just so emotional. It's hard to describe. I just knew he was looking down on me on that last point, and gave me the strength to finish it off. And yeah, it's just. Physically I'm okay. Emotionally I'm a mess. So I just know this is what He always taught me to just be a fighter, be a competitor. So that's what I'm gonna do, day in and day out, and just. That's the only thing I can do.
And finally, when the American dropped his 3rd round battle to Dominic Thiem, the Austrian showed us how to come to a colleague in need. Far from thinking about his own good fortunes after that win, Thiem took the time to look Johnson right in the eye and tell him that he was genuinely sorry for his loss. Such a simple yet sublime response from Dominic Thiem. And another reason to be blown away by the quality of tennis at Roland Garros this year. This type of sportsmanship is contagious. We saw it all around the grounds. After fierce competitions, players set aside their egos and engaged in the long-lost art of respecting one another. Novak Djokovic did it after he slid by Argentina's Diego Schwartzman in 5 sets. The Serb waited and applauded Schwartzman as he walked off the court and didn't celebrate his own victory until he was gone. And finally, here's Horacio Zeballos, gathering up David Goffin's things after the Belgian had to be helped off the court by medical staff when he suffered an ankle injury. The Argentine didn't need to make that gesture because someone on the ATP would have grabbed that bag, but he wanted to show Goffin that he cared. He packed up all of his opponent's things and walked the bag right up to the door of the trainer's room. Another simple gesture, but isn't that why it's so beautiful? Watching Roland Garros in week 1 and seeing players embrace one another with so much respect made us wonder if there isn't more to learn from our favorite sport than just how to hit an incredible down-the-line backhand. Not only is there more to life than tennis, there's more to tennis than tennis. That's what we learned while watching the first week of this year's Roland Garros, and just maybe we can all pass it on. See you next time here on Tennis Now, and enjoy the rest of Roland Garros.